Hi everyone, and welcome to our webinar, How the EPI Process Works. My name is Jessica and I work as a content coordinator for EPI. I'm from the mountains of North Carolina, and before working for EPI, I taught English at the community college level. Today I'll be talking to you about what you can expect as an EPI applicant from when you begin your application to when you come to the United States. We also want you to take this opportunity to ask any questions that you have about our process. You can ask us questions in the comment box and we will answer them at the end of today's presentation. Keep in mind that we won't be able to answer questions about your specific application for privacy reasons. All of those questions should be emailed to team@teachwithepi.com. So today we will be explaining EPI's program and give you an overview of everything from the application to becoming a cultural ambassador. By the end of this presentation, you will have a better understanding of each step of the process. So if you're joining us for the first time, we are Educational Partners International, or EPI for short. And we are a cultural exchange program that brings international teachers to teach in K-12 schools in the United States. Our mission is to bring some of the best teachers from around the world to come to the U.S. to share their cultural experiences. As you can read here, our goal is to strengthen K-12 education by discovering and empowering the world's best international teachers in order to facilitate authentic cultural exchange. The results include teachers and students that become lifelong learners, embrace 21st century skills, and serve as change agents in an interconnected world of global understanding. While we work with schools across the southern United States, our office is in North Carolina, which is about where the marker is on your map on your screen. We would love to know where all of you are from too, so please take the time to tell us in the comments. So the EPI program can basically be broken down into these 6 steps. First, you fill out an application to determine program eligibility. Then you are placed and approved where you become eligible for school interviews. After completing a successful school interview, you are placed in a United States school. You then prepare for arrival and orientation in the U.S., and you become an EPI program member. You will spend 3 years in the U.S. as an EPI teacher, and then you will return home to become a cultural ambassador around the world. So the first step in the EPI program is the application. EPI's application process is thorough and it does a few important things for you. First, filling out the application creates a professional profile for schools to look at when they are considering teachers for interviews. We also use the information you provide during the application process to decide whether or not you meet our eligibility requirements. Some of the requirements for being an EPI teacher are that you are currently teaching, you have 2 years full-time teaching experience, and you have the equivalent of a U.S. bachelor's degree. Finally, the application helps you collect the documents you will need to apply for a visa, travel to the United States, and obtain a teaching license. So as we mentioned, as an EPI applicant, you'll be asked to upload a variety of documents to prove that you are able to travel and teach in the United States. You will also have 2 online interviews with EPI team members. The EPI team will ask you questions about your teaching experience, classroom management, and lesson planning, as well as other topics that prove your eligibility and qualifications. After the interviews, you'll be asked to provide proof of employment and credentials. Once you have uploaded all of your documents and passed 2 EPI interviews, you are moved to the approved stage. Being an approved means that your application with EPI is complete, you have passed a background check, you meet our requirements, and that you are now eligible for school interviews. As a candidate and approved, your application becomes a professional profile that is available to U.S. schools. They will look through the applications of all of our teachers and approved to choose which ones to interview over a video call. If the interview goes well and the school is interested in working with you, you will be placed. Placement means that you have accepted an offer from a school and will be coming to the USA to teach. Teachers who are placed through EPI teach in public, private, and charter schools in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and Florida. As soon as you arrive in the U.S., you will participate in an in-person EPI orientation where you can meet EPI team members and start building relationships with other EPI teachers. During this time, you will learn more about life and education in the United States, as well as the rules and regulations of the Exchange Visitor Program. Our orientation lasts several days, giving you lots of time to ask questions, acclimate to the new culture, and prepare for the upcoming school year. At the end, you will travel to your new community where you will meet current EPI program members who will help you settle in. After you complete orientation, you will become an official EPI program member. As an EPI program member, you will teach in the U.S. for 3 years, where you will complete 2 cultural exchange projects per year in order to help share your culture with students in your community. During that time, you will also have access to 24/7 support from our trained and professional support team. Our teacher support team can help you with everything from culture shock to meeting the needs of struggling learners. The relationship between you and the support team is an important one and will continue throughout your time in the United States. It includes not only orientation and arrival support, but also professional development programs and one-on-one instructional and cultural coaching. Should you need help of any kind, the EPI support team is here for you. As an EPI teacher, you will also have the opportunity to share your culture with your students here in the United States through cultural exchange projects. Today, we have a couple of examples of projects our teachers have done in the past. This is an activity that one of our teachers from China organized. He had his students in America write to pen pals in China. He called it the International Academic Friendship Program, and here you can see some of the letters they wrote to each other. Here you can see where one of our teachers from Ecuador gave her students traditional Ecuadorian food and taught them a dance from her country after telling them some about what life was like back home. So after teaching in the United States for 3 years with EPI, you will then return to your home country where you will be able to become a cultural ambassador. After you return, you will be able to share what you have learned about the United States with people in your home country, just like you shared your culture while you were here. This is one of the most important steps in the whole process because this is what cultural exchange is about, building mutual understanding between cultures by sharing your experiences. So today we also have a video of some of our teachers from the Philippines talking about their experiences teaching in the US with EPI. So here are their stories.
On April 8, 2017, Educational Partners International hosted an event for its Filipino program members. These exchange teachers had the opportunity to meet representatives from their embassy and share their stories.
I am Rolando Corrabo from San Pedro, Laguna, Philippines.
I am from Bulacan in the Philippines.
I am from City of Stars, Quezon City, Philippines.
San Jose del Monte, Bulacan. It's a beautiful place in my country.
And I came from the food capital of our country, the Philippines. It's called Pampanga.
I come from the capital of the Philippines, which is Manila.
I come from the beautiful province of Palawan.
Currently, I am teaching science.
I teach biology and environmental studies.
And I am a special education teacher.
I came to the United States not just to teach, but to make a difference in American students' lives.
When my friends told me about the EPI program to become the cultural ambassador as an exchange teacher here, oh, it sounds like, oh, I want to try it.
Basically, I joined EPI because I've always had passion for cultural exchange.
For me, teaching is the most enjoyable and the most effective way of changing the world.
It's a give and take learning. They don't only learn from me, but I also learn from them.
I feel honored and excited to be the cultural ambassador of the Philippines to the U.S. in the field of education.
The reason why I joined EPI is because it's my childhood dream to teach in the United States.
We are happy because the EPI gave us this opportunity to serve the American kids and to share our culture to them.
It took me a long time to fulfill my American dream, and it was because of EPI.
I will also have the opportunity to share this passion with everybody and hopefully make a difference in my students' journey to success.
They told me, you are the only Asian person here. And I told them, all right, this Asian person will make change on you.
So one of my students, I heard that she applied for an exchange students in the Philippines. She said that, you know what, I am very curious of what I have just saw in your video.
So with the support of Filipino teachers and also other EPI teachers that are coming from other countries, you will really feel like everything is really worth doing as a teacher.
I started watching the football games and all the other sports games of my students to be in a community where I belong.
The community was very supportive. It's not only the school, but also some of the churches. They come together to help me put out my house. They put together furniture.
And we're so proud because me and my wife teaching together, sharing everything to the kids, to the American kids, and at the same time, we're learning also their culture.
We both know that when we work together towards a common goal, we can make it. We can make it happen.
You know, when I was listening to the testimonies of the 5 first speakers, I really can't help but be inspired. Truly, you make us proud. You make us proud, and you always make us proud.
To hear more from our teachers, visit our Facebook page. We have posted several videos of our teachers talking about their cultural exchange experiences. We also post teacher stories on our website, teachwithepi.com. Okay, so we are going to invite you to ask questions soon, but before we get started, here are a few of the most common questions we get about EPI. So, one of the most common ones is, how long is the program? And EPI is a 3-year program. We also know you're probably wondering if there is an application fee. So no, EPI does not charge an application or placement fee. Another question most people have is there an age limit? So no, there is no age limit. There are some other requirements which are listed right there. What are requirements and qualifications, including that you have a U.S. bachelor's degree, that you are currently teaching with 2 years full-time experience, and you have advanced English skills. But as long as you meet those requirements listed there, you are eligible to apply regardless of what age you are. So now we'd like to hear your questions. If you haven't put your questions in the comment box yet, please do so. We will answer all questions in the comment section today. We would also know where you are from and what you are currently teaching. So some other questions to consider and that you might be wondering is, how do you get started? So to apply, you're going to go to teachwithepi.com. You're going to scroll down until you see the big orange button that says click here to apply. You're going to answer some questions about your eligibility, and then you'll be able to make an account with your username and password. Another question we hear sometimes is, can you choose the state where you are placed? So this is a great question. You are, when you get into the approved stage and you start talking to the placement team, you can tell them which states you would be preferred to be placed in. And then of course, you always get to choose what schools you're going to accept interviews from. So in that way, yes, you can choose which state you are placed in. However, we encourage you to keep an open mind and consider all the places that you might be eligible to teach in. Okay, so another question that you might be wondering, are there any opportunities to teach Spanish or other languages? Or to ask this question a different way, what subjects do we accept teachers for? And the answer is that we accept all subjects taught in K-12 schools in the United States. So that's not only Spanish and other language classes, but that's also math, science, art, music, really any subject that you can think that we would teach in those grade levels. Another question that you might have today is, what is the deadline to apply? And there is no deadline to apply. We accept applications all year, and right now we are currently accepting applications for the 2020-2021 school year. But we do encourage you to start your application as soon as possible because, as you've seen in the presentation, it is an extensive application process and we want to make sure you have the time to complete it thoroughly before placement season. Okay, so that's going to be all the time that we have to accept your questions today, but if you did not get to ask your questions, please go ahead and still leave it in the comments. One of our team members will be answering all the remaining questions in the comments after the broadcast. So now that you know more about our program, it is time to talk about next steps. First, if you have not applied yet, go to teachwithepi.com and start your application. Once you are there, you will scroll down until you see the orange button that says click here to apply. Then you will need to answer some questions about your eligibility. After you answer the questions and click submit, you will be able to make an account with your email address and start your application. If you have started your application but have some questions about how to continue today, please email us at team@teachwithepi.com, where one of our admissions specialists will be able to assist you. Finally, you can sign up for our mailing list at teachwithepi.com/webinars to get information about our upcoming webinars and watch all of our previous videos. To finish today's presentation, I would like to share this quote that I feel illustrates the importance of an international education. J. William Fulbright was a U.S. Senator and the founder of the Fulbright program, and he said, "There is a multiplier effect in international education, and it carries the possibility, the only real possibility, of changing our manner of thinking about the world and therefore of changing the world." Here at EPI, we understand how important it is to provide students with a global perspective, and we are so excited to give them and you the opportunity to experience authentic cultural exchange. So that's all for today, everyone. If you are interested in signing up for our upcoming webinars, go to teachwithepi.com/webinars and sign up for our mailing list. Also, be sure to follow us on Facebook to hear about our upcoming events, as well as to hear more from our current teachers. If you have any more questions, be sure to email us at team@teachwithepi.com. On behalf of everyone at EPI, thanks for joining us and have a great day.